What's going on, guys? It's Cody with KNC Vapor. I'm back again for episode 2 of Cody's Random Vape Reviews. In today's video, I really want to just do a good sized video about basic starter kits for under $100 because I think we all know somebody out there still smoking on the cigarettes, and we all know we just want to do our part and to help them quit. Any dollar that we take away from big tobacco is a dollar earned for anybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started off. I think one of the easiest ways to get started off with any of the kits out there, you know, whether it be your grandmother, your grandfather, your aunt or uncle, it really doesn't matter who it is out there. As long as they're above the age of 18, I do want to make that very clear. But I think the easiest way to get started, because a lot of our older vapors out there really don't prefer your lung hitting vaporizers out there these days. Any of your higher end, high powered type stuff, they really like to keep it simple just so they can still use higher milligrams of nicotine. So in my personal opinion, one of the best things to get started off with is the iTaste Click Kit. This is a variable voltage device right here. Basic little pen style kit. This uses the iClear 16B coil on the inside of it. And those things are great, man. I started out with them. They perform extremely well, and they're very able to use the higher milligrams of nicotine. You can use your 18s, your 12s, and God help you if you're using 24. But really, I've always seen a really good turnout rate with these things, and just the fact that they vape extremely well for what little product you get. And then on average, they retail for about $30. I've seen them go online for $25. And this and a bottle of juice, you're looking maybe about $50. So definitely something to think about this holiday season. You know, if you're thinking of other people to help them quit smoking, I definitely think that's the best one to get them going on. But next step up above that, you could easily go with the Anakin Coolfire. This thing, man, I was really blown away by it. You know, I'm a high wattage person. Really didn't think too much of it at first because it only went up to 40 watts, and there's not a whole lot of tanks out there that can really hang at 40 watts. But I was really impressed by this. Generally, just the fact that it does only go up to 40 watts, but you can pop any good sub-ohm tank, and my highest recommendation would be the Aspire Atlantis tank, the version 1. Either one of them would be extremely fantastic. If you were wanting to go for your lung hits or anything like that, this would definitely be the product to go with. And if you weren't going to put a sub-ohm tank on top of it, I would easily recommend the Aspire Nautilus Mini. Perfect for your mouth to lung hitters. You know, your basic easy mouth to lung draw. You can still use your higher milligrams of nicotine without having any problems or anything. And the coils on the Nautilus Mini are absolutely awesome. I've never had any problems with mine when I first started vaping. Performance on them is really good. It's got really decent airflow. So if you want to take those longer draws on them, really, really great to have. Definitely a good tank to get started out with these days. Even though it is a little bit outdated, I still personally think it's a fantastic tank, especially for people that aren't quite ready to get their lung hits or anything in yet. Definitely a good way to get their lungs prepped up for it. Like I said, and for instance, these things, they retail for about maybe $24, and then I believe the Coolfires are retailing for about $40. So there you go, about $60 to get a good setup. Started with that, a good bottle of juice, and you're all set to go. Another little thing I forgot to mention on this is a micro USB chargeable right here, as well as the iTaste Click Kit is. Most of the devices you see up here, actually, now that I think about it, all of them are micro USB chargeable, which is one of the things that I was really impressed with as far as vaping's come along, is that we've gotten better as far as using LiPo batteries on the insides of these products. With the micro USB capabilities, you can charge them, I believe, at about a 1 amp charge. So they tend to hold their charge for a good while because you're not pushing too high of watts on them. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next devices. Right off the bat, Kanger Mini Kit and the Kanger Nano Kit. Both of these kits right here, again, I'm going to go ahead and say this is subjective, but I believe that these starter kits right here are the best starter kit of 2015 right here, because you get everything you need Only thing you don't get is a battery. I believe if other shops would start giving a battery out with them, I believe that you would have an even higher increase in your sales for these things. But my personal opinion, batteries are about $10 a piece. All you need is one. It is micro USB capable. But anyways, the tank that comes with this right here, you got the Kanger Mini tank, and then you got the Kanger Sub Tank Mini, Nano. And both of these tanks are perfect for airflow. You can get, I believe there's 2 or 3 different types of coils you can get for these. Yeah, you can get the 1.5 ohm, you can get the 1.2 ohm, and then you can get the half ohm coils. Half ohm coils, I believe, are good all the way up to like 60 watts. Sorry. And then both of these boxes output at 50 watts. So you're definitely going to be able to get your maximum potential out of these things. Perfect for starter kits out there, especially for people just getting started out long hitting and that kind of want to get their starts in either cloud chasing or flavor chasing. With the Subtank Mini Kit, Subbox Mini Kit, this one does include a rebuildable coil head for it, which I've actually worked with them in the past, and they're super simple to build, and they save you a lot of money on buying coils, because I think coils for most of these boxes right here retail for about $20 a box, and we all know that does get costly for a while. But you know, even if you can't rebuild the coils right off the bat, it is something that you can always learn in the future. But other than that, both of these products are absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, they come with almost every single thing you need. They both come with extra coils, plenty of extra coils. Comes with a replacement glass, a charging cable, everything you need. All right, and let's go ahead and move on to your next step up, which in my personal opinion would either be the Tesla 1 mod or the Tesla 2 mod. Either of these mods right here, they both fire up to 100 watts mechanically. Now let me kind of go over that just a second for kind of some of the new people out there for starter kits. This is not necessarily sold as a kit, but as a backup battery, in my personal opinion. But I've got people using these things right now that are using sub-ohm tanks and using drippers with them even. They're perfect all out just because they power up to 100 watts mechanically, so that you're going to get that consistent 4.2 volts every time that you have a full battery charge. So, for instance, if you were running a half ohm coil on there, you're going to be pulling approximately 30 watts versus having a 0.2 ohm build on here. You can get about 88 watts. So you're going to definitely get a huge difference in the amount of hit. Definitely recommend these things for really any type of tank. The Nautilus Mini pairs well with the Tesla 1 and the Tesla 2. But with the Tesla 2, my personal opinion, you can't go wrong with having a good sub-tank on there, especially if you're starting to use your lower ohm coils, which I'm starting to see a lot of these days, you know, with the Tri-Forces using the 0.1 ohm nickel coils and the 0.2 ohm coils and the 0.3s and so on and so forth. Definitely got a good battery life out of the Tesla 2. That's the only thing I'm not a fan of on the Tesla 1, is because you only get, I believe it's 2,000 milliamp hour. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then on the Tesla 2, I believe you get 4,500 milliamp hour. So you definitely get quite a bit of battery life out of this versus using the Tesla 1. But if you were using the Tesla 1 with a Nautilus Mini on top, look, I'll show you what this looks like. All assembled. It's a really clean little setup. It's definitely still portable, still small and petite. So, you know, if women want to carry it in their purse or guys want to carry it in your pocket, it doesn't really matter. But all in all, the setup looks just like that. Not too big. Perfect size, in my opinion. Absolutely great. So even the Tesla 2s, for instance, like the Tesla 2, I've worked with the Tesla 2 quite a bit. That's what we use up here as our testers. The Tesla 2s, I was really blown away by as well. I wouldn't really think you'd be able to get that much power out of a little box like that. But with them, I noticed that they tend to vape really well with your lower ohm coils. Now, this is just personally me. I prefer lower ohm building. Some people may prefer a cooler vape. Me, I prefer a warmer vape. But everybody's different. That's what's mostly vaping is built around, is personal preference. So with the Tesla 2 or the Tesla 1, you can still use your sub-ohm boxes. I believe both of these devices you can build down to 0.1 ohms on. It's around 0.1 to 0.15, I believe. Anything that equals out to about 100 watts. So even if if you're going to start dripping, I definitely recommend the Tesla 2 to get started out with, so that you're having the safety of a regulated device with the power of a regular mechanical mod. All right, and let's move on to our last few products right here. Right now, this little guy right here, this is the IPV D2. This little guy right here, man, I can't keep these things on the shelf. Man, these things are absolutely phenomenal. The way they perform, it's a 75 watt device. It's got temperature control on it. Really, really outperforms a lot of the other, even on the sub box kits, it really does outperform, my personal opinion, just because it can go up and reach that extra 25 watts that you can't get with the sub box kits. And with it, like I said, you can even start out with using your temperature control if you ever decide you want to get into that. But one cool thing is that a lot of workers around here locally don't like to carry around the big boxes like I do, especially when they're on the clock. So they want to be able to have something small and portable. And with that, my personal favorite tank to pair that with would probably be the UL Crown tank. And this tank right here, I know a lot of you out there have probably used the CCI Triforce tank. Guys, this tank right here is second place to it. This is the next best thing that you can get compared to the Triforce. The coils on these things, they use a D-grade 316L stainless steel coil, which I know that probably freaks a lot of you out, but it has been proven that it is safe to vape. The coils in it are very well built. The half ohm coils, I think, can be vaped up to 100 watts. And then the 0.25 ohm coils can be vaped all the way up to 135 watts. And which, by the way, I forgot to mention, I believe the retail on both of these devices right here, the Tesla 1 on average are going for about $30, and the Tesla 2s are going for about $50. I've seen them online for about $45. But back to the IPV-D2, which does normally retail for about $70. And with the Crown tank, these retail for about $40 right now. So with the setup right now, we've got some of these up here at the shop right now, and we're doing a deal for the IPV-D2 and the UL Crown tank with a free battery for $99.99. So if you're wanting to start getting into cloud chasing and doing those really nice builds, or just wanting to use a really good sub tank out there, definitely recommend those two as a pair. Definitely something to carry around with you, just up around the shop or up at work. It's easy to fit in your pocket. Another tank you could easily put on top of it is the Heracles sub-ohm tank as well. This uses the one thing I love about this Heracles right here is that you can use so many different types of coils. You can use the Aspire Atlantis coil, you can use the Playboy Vixen, you can use the Tobacco Super Tank, and on and on and on and on. There's so many different coils that you can use for this thing. I mean, I've seen you can get 0.5s, you can get 0.3s, you can get 0.4s, you can get 0.2s, and you can even, I believe the Aspire Atlantis now uses a 0.15 ohm coil. But it's a very simple sub-ohm tank. They retail for about $30. I've really had a lot of good performance. I've used all of these devices that you see up here on the table before. Never really had any problems with any of them at all. Especially like my favorites up here, like the K-Box kits right here, and with the Heracles tank. Never had any problems with those either. I think the main problem is that people break their glass too often. But like I said, guys, we need to keep our loved ones alive for a little bit longer. And any step that we can make in the process of helping them quit smoking is another step morally that we can move on and forward as far as a community. And we definitely want to see those guys around for a long time. I know everybody does. You know, I have relatives that still smoke to this day, and I'm trying to do my best to help them, and I know everybody else has got someone out there. But during this holiday season, guys, definitely keep these products in mind. They're a great way to get started and set up for right around or under $100. Definitely think they're great stuff. So, guys, let me know what you think. If there's any other good starter kits you'd like me